Of course, a pleasant good morning. Welcome to the OK Morning Rush, the Friday's edition. Today's July 24, 2026. Just 2 days to, originally 2 days to Liberia's 179th Independence Day. It is 9 minutes past 7 o'clock. My name is Marka Davis. I'm here till 10 o'clock this morning, bringing you the Independence Weekends presentation of the OK Morning Rush. In a special way, let me say welcome back to our manager from China, Clarence Jackson. And also congratulations to him on winning the Golden Image Award in the highest media category. To all of you joining us this morning, good morning. It's great to be here. And our silent listeners, as I usually say, welcome to the show. Those following us by radio, our relay, stations across the country. Affiliate radio stations that are relaying the show across the country. Thank you so much. Good morning to Fatu Kamara there in Abuja, Nigeria. I'm hoping to speak with us for at least 5 minutes on the show. Later on, coming up shortly, we'll bring you the commercials as usual. The commercials will be followed by the regional update. A fact check report will also come on. Of course, we'll go online to recognize you who are following the show this morning, as we usually do. And of course, we'll talk about some of the major happenings in the country. The biggest is the cocaine issue. And of course, Independence Weekend, a lot of things happening across the country in celebration of the country's Independence Day. A couple of counties are now competing in infrastructure development, which is good for our country. We'll talk about some of these things and have some good interaction with you, our audience, this morning. That will run up to 8 o'clock, and at 8 o'clock this morning, our guest will be here. Our guest this morning is Jenin Kadiatu Jalakoli, the Deputy Director General for Marketing and Promotions at the Liberia National Tourism Authority. We've invited her to talk about some of the roles the Tourism Authority is playing in this year's Independence Day and what other work they are doing. So Jenin Colley will be with us here at 8 to 9 o'clock this morning. And of course, at 9 o'clock, one of the few government officials who have made history in the administration, because you remember the president said when you get suspended or fired, you may not have the opportunity to return. One of few who was able to get suspended and also returned will be our guest this morning at 9 to 10 o'clock this morning, Mr. Christopher Sankolo, the Director General of the Liberia Agriculture Commodity Regulatory Authority, or LACRA. He will sit with us at 9 to 10 o'clock this morning. So folks, this is the lineup of the show this morning. Let's go for the commercials here on the OK Morning Rush. Stay tuned. Don't go away. Don't touch that dial.
I say, my people, First National Savings and Loans Liberia not do it again. Oh, I say, my people, y'all listen. First National Savings and Loan Liberia not do it again. Oh,
but when I compu, why you shouting all around the place like you not found bank manager well so?
Namo, even if I found bank manager well, I would be very happy.
Like how now?
Because all the things that the First National Savings and Loans Liberia doing, it will really take away our stress.
In what way it will take away your stress?
Look, Namo, if you're looking for a good place to save your money you suffer for, or you want your money to receive good interest over a period of time, then go to the First National Savings and Loans Liberia. At First National Savings and Loans Liberia, you can open savings account, current account, church savings, Susu savings, and mobile banking. You will get account SMS alerts right away, meaning as soon as you save the money, you will get message on your phone right away that you not save the money.
So Goku, the way you not do all the fancy then so what should do now if I want to open my own account?
Namo, when it comes to opening saving account for church, school and organization, you can call them and they can open the account for you right to your own house, school, church or organization. If you want to pay your children's school fees, you can also do it when you call them too. Try to join them to make things easy for yourself.
I rather missing good in you.
Also, First National Savings and Loans Liberia can offer you different ways to do what the poor people call fixed deposit, or to keep your money starting from 13% per annual, meaning per year for Liberian dollars deposit, and 10.25% per annual, meaning also per year for United States dollars deposit for what the poor people call fixed deposit. First National Savings and Loans Liberia. We are located on 10th Street, Sinker. Better still, you can call us on 0779 206 231 or 0886 027 466, and we will come to you. First National Savings and Loan Liberia is a microfinance deposit taking institution. At First National Savings and Loans Liberia, we put you and your business first.
LEC, yeah, LEC. Good morning, Mahawa. Thank God you're working with LEC and you are here. Mahawa, I get big problem, yeah. They finished stealing my LEC meter, yeah. I don't even know what to do.
Collie, don't worry. All you need to do is to go to the nearby LEC Customer Service Center or LEC Waterside office. And when you go there, you must carry a letter telling them that your meter was stolen. Tell them the main day they steal your meter, the meter number, the place you live in, your full name, and your phone number. Now, all you need to do.
What will happen when I carry the letter?
Good question, Cody. LEC gets some record there. They call them the LEC Customer Service Agent. They will take the letter and look at all the things that you put inside and quick black or close that meter so nobody will be able to buy it or use it. Or when they put money on it, it will not work. If you don't report that your meter that was stolen, somebody will be using it. And if you were having money on the meter before they steal it, when they give your new meter, the money will still be on your meter, yeah, until you yourself you choose to use it when they finish.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Good news there. That the only way they steal the meter and they steal the LEC wire, then it will stop. Mahawa,
Yeah.
I want to ask you, yeah, I want to put current in my new house. What am I going to do for LEC to help me to put current in the house?
Hey, brother Cody, that one is like easy thing. Just go to LEC office and tell them that you want current in your new house. They will give you one paper they call a application form. On that form, you will put your full name, the place you live in, your phone number, and put any of your ID, like number 1, national ID card, 2, passport, number 3, photos card, 4, driver lessons. The LEC people then will look at all the things in Google. When it correct, the LEC people then will send their workers with one paper called service order in your community to check good and see whether your new house get good wiring and installation for them to put current inside. Right after that, they will tell you how much you will pay to a bank account. If that single phase meter, you will pay 79.10 USD. But on a 3-phase meter, you will pay $384.20 USD. When the finance people then see the money in their system, LEC will say, well, quick to put current in your new house.
I want there alright. Ain't bad at all. But man, I won't know again, yeah? If my meter stop working or I put money inside and I won't go, what am I gonna do?
My brother, that one is easy. You can report anything. I mean anything. Like you have to do with LEC business isa by going to LEC customer service center, or you call LEC call center on 4500, or you send an email to customerservice@lecliberia.com, or you can even carry a letter telling them what happened to you, whether the meter stop working or you put money and the money can go. LEC will look at all the things that you put in your letter. Check it, go. Then LEC will send workers quick to your house and change your meter or to show you how to do it.
Thank you plenty, Mahawa. They say anything I know, a people pass you.
Oh, yeah.
I know what to do now.
Oh, okay, well, let's see, Okwadi. LEC is committed to providing reliable service and supporting every customer. LEC is committed to providing reliable service and supporting every customer. Report problems promptly and follow the proper procedure for faster assistance.
Liberia Electricity Corporation, powering Liberia, serving you better.
A message from the Liberia Electricity Corporation, LEC.
Chalakita, Elicio, they make the light shine so bright. I tell you, yeah. LEC.
Your cars, generators, and other machines can last much longer when you use the right kind of petroleum products to power your engines. Sunek Group, located on Bushwood Island, is dealer and distributor of high-quality petroleum products across Liberia at available prices. At Sunek Group, we sell and distribute high-quality petrol, gas, and diesel fuel to fueling stations across the nation. Our highly trained, professional, and customer-friendly staff are always waiting and ready to serve you. We deliver your petroleum products to your destinations on time. No worries. Power your engines with the right kinds of petrol, oil, and gas today and save time and money. Come to Sunek Group, your one-stop distributor of high-quality petrol, oil, and gas. We are located in a BMC building opposite UBA Bank, just a block away from LPRC on Bushwood Island. For more information, call 0777-062-441 or 0886-473-164. Sunek Group, spinning the wheels of oil and gas in Africa.
The Liberia Revenue Authority, LRA, informs all taxpayers and the general public of the ongoing registration exercise for medium and large taxpayers in preparation for the transition to the value-added tax VAT regime. The registration process includes the deployment of an electronic invoicing system in accordance with Section 55C of the Revenue Code of Liberia as amended and the Income Tax EFD regulation. All concerned taxpayers are encouraged to register online on the LRA website www.lra.gov.lr by clicking on the Online Services tab, selecting GST or VAT registration, and completing the registration process. A team from the LRA will visit your premises to provide support for the registration process. Taxpayers are strongly advised to fully cooperate with the LRA registration teams to ensure successful registration and smooth deployment of the electronic invoicing system. Failure to comply with the registration requirements may result in penalties as prescribed under the amended Revenue Code, including other punitive measures. Please note that pursuant to the Liberia Tax Amendment Act of December 2025, approved on March 24, 2026, the Goods and Services Tax (GST) rate has been adjusted from 12% to 13% as part of efforts to facilitate a smooth transition to the value-added tax VAT system in 2027. For more information, visit the LRA website www.lra.gov.lr or call 0770-572-572. Signed, Marka P. Crote, Commissioner, Domestic Tax Department.
Kebe, two of us from this town. I call you here to ask you about what we can do to make our tradition succeed.
Dede, the only thing we can do is to put here under the Women and Girls Protection Act, yeah? With this act, our traditional people will know our girls' rights and they will stop female circumcision.
Liberia's unique culture is our pride, but harmful practices must end.
A message from the Association of Female Lawyers of Liberia, AFL.
Good news to all travelers in and out of Liberia. Sumahoro Transport Service, STF, has introduced new fleets of buses in Liberia to take travelers from Monrovia directly to Ghana, Abidjan, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. We can also do connections for our passengers to Lomé, Cotonou, and Lagos, as well as Bamako, Dakar, Banjul, Kankan, Madiana, and Labe. We carry valuable items to your loved ones through our courier service. We also have delivery service to your various destinations upon arrival in Monrovia. We have taxi service to and from our parking station to your home. Please come to our red light office opposite Zone 9 Depot Police Station or call 0775 908830 0886 0555 558801 for bookings. ST is here to serve you.
We are brave. We are passionate.
Hey, Tanu, I need cash and there is no ATM around here.
Really? Did you try the EcoBank POS?
POS? I said I need cash. What is it about POS?
Judy, you can get your cash through the POS. All you need to do is to visit any EcoBank Express point or petrol trade gas station and request to use the POS. Guess what? It can also take other bank cards.
Oh, widow, you mean cards from banks overseas too?
Yes, it should just be your Visa card.
Wow, great. So when there is no ATM around me, I will just use the POS to get my money fast. EcoBank has made it too easy, man. EcoBank and innovation that real 5 and 6 so.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Your cars, generators, and other machines can last much longer when you use the right kind of petroleum products to power your engines. Sunek Group, located on Bushwood Island, is dealer and distributor of high-quality petroleum products across Liberia at available prices. At Sunek Group, we sell and distribute high-quality petrol, gas, and diesel fuel to fueling stations across the nation. Our highly trained, professional, and customer-friendly staff are always waiting and ready to serve you. We deliver your petroleum products to your destinations on time. No worries. Power your engines with the right kinds of petrol, oil, and gas today and save time and money. Come to Sunek Group, your one-stop distributor of high-quality petrol, oil, and gas. We are located in a BMC building opposite UBA Bank, just a block away from LPRC on Bushwood Island. For more information, call 0777-062-441 or 0886-473-164. Sunek Group, spinning the wheels of oil and gas in Africa.
Of course, welcome back to the OK Morning Rush here on OKFM 99.5. Thanks to our sponsors. Let's check for regional updates. And this story coming from Nigeria, it says 3 men sentenced to life in jail over Nigeria's school kidnappings. And the story says 3 men in Nigeria have been sentenced to life in prison after pleading guilty to offenses linked to the kidnapping of dozens of pupils and teachers in southwestern state of Oyo. They admitted to concealing information about those behind the attacks and confessed to being members of an affiliate of the Islamist militant group Boko Haram. The convictions come nearly 2 weeks after the authorities announced the rescue of 44 pupils and teachers adopted during coordinated attacks on 3 schools in Oyo's Oreri district in May. The abductions triggered protests from parents, teachers' union, and rights organizations, all calling for stronger measures to protect schools. Mass adoptions by armed groups have become a common tactic across Nigeria in recent years, often requesting ransoms for release of the captives. They tend to focus on soft targets such as schools, churches, mosques, and remote villages. Abdurazak Omar, also known as Abu Khalifa or Abu Khalid, Yunusa Musa, and Shamsu Adamu Sani appeared at the High Court in the capital Abuja for the sentencing hearing. They pleaded guilty to concealing information but denied conspiring with other suspects between January and May 2026 to kidnap school children and teachers in Oyo State. However, Omar admitted to providing training and instructions to jihadists through a WhatsApp group and as well as being involved in illegal mining. The Oriri adoptions in May drew particular concern because jihadist violence in Nigeria has historically been concentrated in northeast of the country, where Boko Haram has been based for years. Following the mission to rescue the adoptees earlier in July, the authorities said they had made several other arrests, including a person considered to be one of the kidnapping kingpins. Rachel Folawi Alamu, head teacher at Oriri's Community Grammar School, spoke about the ordeal she and other teachers and students had faced during their 56 days in captivity deep in the bush, being frequently moved by the kidnappers at night, often walking for several hours. Well, we're hoping that, like we've said, over the time, the law will take its course and investigations will be independent and people who commit crimes will answer to their actions. So that is accountability. So we're hoping that these more arrests will be done, and as these things happen frequently, I think it will scare away or it will reduce the rate of kidnappings in Nigeria. Thanks to the authorities and thanks to prosecution and those who are involved with the investigations. Let's go online to see those who have joined us. We're also hoping that we can lay our hands on a fact check report to bring it up for you right here on the OK Morning Rush. Let's go to see those of you who have joined us. Amara said is following this morning from Kakata City, Margibi County. Says Liberia is a happy 179th Independence Day to all Liberians. Jerry Plateau is also following. Solim B. Yates has joined us. A. Valley Cora is following. Leo Dolo. Edward K. Jala, thanks for joining. Emmanuel Gowe is following as well. Sam B. Zoga has joined. Prince Emol Gotor is following. Julia M. Pobo is also following. But this is following from Grand Jida County. Chris Yaya is also following from Grand Jida County. Daniel Tanti has joined us from Thinker Village here in Pinsville. J. Organo Beer is also following from Camp Johnston Road. Ma Esterson SB is following as well. Alex B. Barry Jr. is following. Aloysius Peter Flomo Jr. from Unification City in Margibi County. He's been one of my long-term followers. Thanks for joining today. Should I say for the first time on the Friday edition since my transition. Welcome, Aloysius. Darlington Rue is following. Kazi Kaipie is also following. Frederick B. Solo Jr. has joined us. Terry F. Corner is following. Peter Binda is following as well. Abraham F. David has joined us. Prince Tamayuma Johansson F. Weawea, the veteran from Dupont Road in Pinsville. Thanks for joining. Alex Maxwell is following. Godwin Khan, Boakai Musa, Hassan Kroma, Samuel Fenn is following as well. Nathaniel Tokama Page is also following this morning. Joshua Wesley, Peter Lane Peters is following. Zico Rare is following. We also have Aaron Bo, who has joined us from King Joy in Grand Cape Mountain County, where B Mountain Mining Corporation operates. Dennis Doe is also following us this morning. And many more who have joined the show this morning. We want to say welcome. Sonny Musa, Vincent Jire is also following from Red Light. We can mention everyone. Other than that, we will not do anything else. But thanks to all of you for joining. I don't know whether we have the fact check, so we can bring it on this morning. But in starting, I'd like to say pre-Independence Day to all Liberians, especially those of you who are following the show this morning. I am wishing all of us a wonderful celebration of our country's independence. Our country is old, and most of the time during this period, we'll hear people asking questions, what are we celebrating? But I think we are celebrating resilience. We are celebrating the fact that we are self-governed. I know other people will always argue about independence, but of course we go to the ballot, we elect our own leaders, we have our own laws and statutes that regulate our activities as a country. We conduct our own elections. Of course, no man is an island, so there are interdependence globally. People will collaborate on bilateral issues, on multilateral issues. So therefore, no country is independently independent. So sometimes people say, oh, how is Liberia independent? When during our budget process, people need to help us with budget support. During disease outbreak, people have to help us with support. Of course, no man is an island and no nation is independently independent. Therefore, we are one way or the other interdependent. We depend on each other to, even in a community, family will take things from each other, and that is the way people live in harmony, coexistence. That's what we do. So I don't argue too much about what is the independence that we are celebrating. Liberia is a proudly independent country, And I think Liberia bore a torch for a lot of African countries, which we should be proud of. While we all know we face a lot of challenges as a country, and we are still facing challenges as a country, we should be proud of what we have become, passing through tough times in our history, and bouncing back. That's what they call resilience. When you fall, you are able to wake up. So we face a lot of challenges as a country. Uh, you know, uh, Poor national planning, if I may say, for example, because if we have planned properly, by this time we will not still be building roads in Monrovia. Street pavement will not be happening in Monrovia. If it is happening, it will be repair and all of that. If we had planned properly, we will not still be thinking about expanding the Tottenham Boulevard, for example. We will not still be talking about building road to go to the Rabat International Airport. We will not still be having government institutions renting in private properties if we are planned properly. While all of these challenges we see, we can still proud ourselves as a country, as a people who said, well, let us stand up. It was difficult at the time for any nation in the midst of the European power struggle over Africa at the time, for a little country like Liberia to wake up and say we want to be self-governed, we want to run our own government, we want to run our own country. I think it was a brave decision, and people who stood up at the time, we can also tell them kudos. We can tell them thank you for making that decision. Like, people will come to praise the revolutionaries from the 70s who stood up to one party system. If we can praise them today, then we should also praise people who stood up at a time to fight for independence. So we have reason to celebrate as a people who have been through coup d'etats, as a people who have been through civil wars, as people who have been through major health crisis, including the I know there were smaller one in measles, smallpox, different ones, and we have the major ones like the Ebola. We came to COVID-19, and falling and rising. The resilience of the Liberian people should be appreciated and celebrated. So we have, for me as a Liberian, I believe we have reasons to celebrate. I know while we've been challenged with the issue of slow pace of development in the midst of abundant natural resources, while we are being challenged with poor infrastructure, we've been challenged with the issue of graft in our system, corruption, okay, which is a major factor for underdevelopment. We still have some things to celebrate while we tackle issues that confront our country. So congratulations to Liberians, to our government, to the private sector people, to the poor people in the slums, to every Liberian across the country. Congratulations as we prepare to celebrate our independence on Monday. It's a long weekend. Usually we celebrate holidays that fall on Sunday. Normally I defer to Monday. So as we will be celebrating, we're celebrating good faith. So the big issue in the country is the cocaine issue. We've seen and witnessed and heard, a lot of compromise in the security sector, especially at the level of the Liberian National Police, where senior officers, including Dean, are being held to account, and a lot of others. I listen to a lot of other people who believe that the police inspector general should be, others say dismissed, others say he should resign. But we still want to give the investigation a time. And one of the assurances we want to give the Liberian people is that this investigation is not, purely Liberian. It's not, exclusively, the Liberian Joint Security. So we understand there are international partner working with us, like with the 100 million cocaine case in 2022. We followed that story very well, and were even part of the team of media persons who went to destroy that consignment at the BDC. So it was photo by the UN Narcotics Office, the United States, DEA. They were everywhere. They were part of everything that happened, and I am sure, and you are also aware, that they are part of everything that is happening currently with the 19.2 and the 317 million seizures. So we can rest assured, we understand there are additional investigators coming to the country, if they are not in country already, coming from the USA and other parts of the world, coming to help with this investigation. So if this investigation leads to where the police inspector general will be directly implicated, whether uncompromised, whether direct involvement in shipment or distribution or whatever, of course we can rest assured that there will not be any shooting. There will not be any shooting, because it is not only the Liberian National Police that is investigating. There are international partners who are being involved from day one, the intelligence sharing, and everything that has been happening. Everything that has been happening. So the only thing sometimes we ask is that we try to limit the politics in the investigation. I know when the Kush issue was rampant in this country, I know when the 100 million seizure came about, I know in 2023 it was a big campaign message in the country, and everyone said, oh, Liberia is a drug country, the CDC administration bringing drugs into the country, and opposition party. It was not only the Unity Party, even the ANC, the LPP, the Edward Appleton Party, some of the party names that we can remember again. So we only remember some of the people who were there. The ARCOP, all of the political parties were running with it, accusing the CDC administration of bringing drugs in the country. So why it is reasonable that CDC2 and other opposition parties will now turn the gun to the Unity Party, it is equally important that because this thing is now a political thing, that we play some real attention to the reality of the issues and disregard misinformation, disinformation surrounding the entire investigation just to score political points. This is more than politics. It is more than politics. And I believe when security issues are happening, there are some big things that are happening in this country, in the security sector, that you and I didn't hear anything about. And they were resolved. And if you had the opportunity to maybe hear about some of these things that happen behind closed door with security intelligence, there will be panic in the public. But sometimes these things are done behind closed door, behind the media. The appropriate security measures are put in place diplomatically, and using intelligence to solve some of these issues, and they slide. And these things, some happened 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and we are here today. There was no major panic in the public, and we move on. Today we had a border security issue. It is being handled as it is being handled. We know, all of us know, it is not resolved, because if it was resolved, the president wouldn't have said at the recent ECOWAS summit that he is hoping for a mutually beneficial and respectful resolution. So while the signs we have seen prove some compromise at the level of the Liberian National Police, I have not seen anything yet directly implicating anyone or any of the hierarchies from the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency, but for the Liberia National Police, we can point fingers at people who are already, who have already been named and being held by the investigators. So we should place some confidence in the process. Someone was talking about lesser evil, comparing, which I've tried to take away, because that lesser evil thing appeared to me very political, talking about lesser evil between the CDC and the Unity Party administrations in terms of the fight against drugs. Who is doing, who did well, who is doing well, who did bad, who is doing bad. And sometimes these comparisons, tend to draw in politics, of course, which is why Liberia is a very political country, like I continue to say. So someone said, why if this kind of thing had been happening from maybe Everson, maybe let's forget about the CDC administration, even go back to the early second term or maybe the first term. Why if these things have been happening, they've been coordinated very well, and it's been happening without any burst? Why if it only bursted in 2022 because it was the consignment was being tracked from across borders all the way to landing in Liberia at a cold storage in Gardnersville? Why if these consignments, 19 million, 100 million, 200 million, has been actually smoothly going through the borders, passing through Liberia easily and going, and not being busted? Why if? And why if they were not happening at all? Maybe the first time the attempt was made, maybe was the biggest attempt, let's say, was the 100 million, and it was busted. And someone, why if now that surveillance has been strengthened, intelligence sharing has been strengthened, collaborations have been strengthened, and then every step of the way is being tracked and every attempt is being busted? So who is the lesser evil? Well, folks, 10 minutes to 8 o'clock. So we will have some conversation. We'll open the lines. If you are following, you can call. Let's talk. At 10 o'clock, we expect to have our guests here this morning. This is the OK Morning Rush. The name is Marka Davis, the son of the late Baptist deacon. I'm here this morning bringing you this edition of the program. Call on 0-777-700-995, 0-555-995-995, 0-777-700-995, 0-555-995-995. Yeah. So these are the numbers. Let's take the calls now and have some very savor conversation here this morning. Let's take this first one. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka.
Good morning. You're live. Go ahead.
So thank you. My name is Dauda Barama. I'm calling from Lockington.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead. You're live. I can't be talking.
Yeah, so I listen to your talking points. They each have to do with the drugs. And Marka, for me, and many other Liberians, I think the police actually should step aside for the entire investigation.
Okay.
In fact, at this point, the entire police leadership should step aside. If the need be, the president should set up a special team to investigate the general, because come to think of it, the police actually is telling us that somebody received 10,000, a deputy received 10,000, 10K US for comfort. Let's see, okay? 10K just for comfort. So how you receive the money? Because the last time we checked, the two guys were handcuffed. They were placed in police custody. So how they got Johnny James that received the 10K? Who's getting the 10K? According to some those are in security sector, they are saying the only thing that after their ranking is also a police RG in terms of ranking. So I don't know. I don't know what is happening to our security sector.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for contribution. Let's take the next caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Marka Davis.
Good morning.
This is testimony Barkley joining you from the nation's capital. So let me say thanks to you and the entire workforce at OKFM for the job you do on a daily basis. For me, I will also join you to say I am hopeful that this drug issue will come to a logical conclusion and those who are involved will be named and persecuted. What I will not do to be alleging people like others will be alleging like somebody alleging late boss that is involved, alleging the national security advisor could be who is involved. I say no, how will I do that? Because these are people who do not just temper poor character when it comes to drugs. But what it does, we are witnesses here in this country, the way it has these many young person when you're walking on the streets of Monrovia, you know straight that Liberia is doomed if nothing happens.
Okay.
But again, we could also launch this order in the police. Yeah, but you see some people do the way they can dress. I mean, you see some police officers and you see their salary, you don't know how they're making. So for that, one of them to even the beat is better than the center.
Okay.
Like, so 10,000, who gave the 10,000? For what
Thank
reason
you.
did they give the 10,000?
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go to this line and pick other calls. 0777700 995 Good morning.
Good morning, Marcus David.
Good morning.
I'm Anthony Shabbat calling from Balance Day.
Okay.
Yeah, the drug thing is a very complicated thing and to very eradicate totally from the drug we have because the government not paying their security officer good money. You imagine my man, you somebody 200 a year every month, now 400, 500 a year every month. Somebody got 10,000, 15,000 a year every time their family. These are contributing factors. So for me, I don't want to break it.
I know sometimes out of frustration, we can say these things, but again, is that a reason? So you choose a piece of job to do, you choose this job to do. There are different options. You can go if you think the security cannot pay. I mean, go to other sector that can pay. But you can't sit within. You can't sit within the security sector and say you compromise the country. So are you saying the security because they don't pay maybe 1,000 or 1,200? We've been advocating for incrementing security people's salary, right? But should it be a reason that we can say, yeah, but the security men were they're cooking in the country because they're not taking plenty pay? Is that the argument you are preaching?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the contributing factor and the solution to stopping the whole entire process. It's from the hair. When the hair is
so that man, that Johnny D man, you think he making 200 or 300? Huh?
That man, even if you give me the man 700, 1,000, that what I'm telling you that one of the contributing factors to all the whole entire thing here is the honor pay of our security apparatus. At 1, 2, there's no way you live in life without temptation. Temptation will be everywhere. It all depends if the person working and the salary is enough, then it will be all right. So let just do the work.
Okay. All right. Good morning.
Morning, Marka.
Good morning. I don't know why is your phone making that kind of sound. Okay. Gibson?
Yeah, Marka. Sometimes, we see the deception in other Liberians. Is there the time that people are saying that all Liberians should unite and we come together and make God's business? So at that time, 2 years ago, we should have united ourselves together to fight the drugs, right? So they took their drug issue and they placed it on another person here. They said, this was the person that was responsible for the drugs. You are the one that was. In fact, they make it out of stone. Is it so now? Is it a stone that people are saying, oh, yeah, we should fight it? It is true. This thing is affecting the entire fabric of our society. But people should take proof to people that are in power today instead of say they were very wrong of it.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka. How you doing?
Good morning. Go ahead.
Look, my brother, this is Nathaniel Johnson. I call you from Lincoln Street. Yeah, they not take politics from this thing. It is not about who administration this thing happen. We must be glory, we must give glory to God that they are taking this thing off the system. Whether Georgia administration or the administration, they not talk about Liberia. Why is obtaining the country that God blessing us? Whether they've been concealing the thing, they've been selling it confidentially to our carry our children, God putting the offer for us. We must be grateful to God. The second one has to do with investigation. The money blessing the brother talking, if you are committed to a certain job, your commitment carry you throughout. Yes, indeed, we got poverty in your country, but that will not make you spoil your own job or spoil your character. To build the thing over years. You're not making $500, you're not making $700. They give you $10,000 to kill the citizen of the country. That's someone who says yes for. So let them be investigated. Let them be investigated, and the punishment that belong to them, they must get it. And they must still go to the bottom of this drug business.
All right. They must still go to the bottom of this drug business. Let me take the last one. Yes, I'll have to take the last one because my guest is here already. Good morning. Oh, what's going on? Wait.
This morning on Congress City, Congress.
Your line is really cracking. You said your name and where you call from?
I'm Robert Political Strata Ibrahimovic. I call you this morning for the Congress City in Congress. You know, I come to believe in former deputy director for the laboratory agency that says the technical jobs here will be hard to fill because people in the executive are responsible for the coming of the jobs. And he was dismissed. Today, his testimony has come to reality. Can you imagine? It's clearly that our whole security system is compromised under this technical administration. For you to have universal office of the Labrador National Police to admit that he received bribe, and you will go beyond that to say that even the RT needs to be, investigated, the whole investigation. There's a reason why someone call a DA boss to the Senate. The RT only get things when they interrupting. You see, he was suspicious. And then,
you can
tell me, yeah.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, please conclude.
Yeah, you can't tell me, say, who the lab man, but because crime cannot be committed about one person, it's a whole thing. You talk about 300 million plus. It's a woman that would take 10,000. And we use that to choose. No, lab man need to stay. You go to the CR bank and cover and cut more needs. The agenda is symptom for that, so you need to refuse yourself with the Labrador National Police and go on investigator. And conclude that the 4 million, 90 million dollars. The DA power new or up to now we can't hear anything. The vice president of Marka new or it needs all of them to go investigate instructing.
What kind of vice president? What is it about the vice president? Who said that? The only thing I know about the vice president is say he was in a photo with one, I don't know what his name. One Tony.
He needs to make 70 hours to it. We don't see what that.
Okay.
He needs to make 70 weeks.
Okay, so for me, in other places, I know not everyone can treat and what is happening also is the way we do politics. It sometimes make people to see genuine issues as politics. So in other countries, with all of the noise, maybe the police inspector general will just say, okay, since when you open, phone lines on the radio stations, everyone, oh yeah, that the police inspector general step aside. I mean, I'll just step aside and wait. Okay, let me step aside and see what the investigation will unveil. Yeah, in other places people do that. In other countries, people don't like their name being dragged in this kind of manner. So if it touches the police RG, you could honorably, I mean, step aside and say, well, let me just wait and see what the outcome of the investigation will be. But that's what it is. Like I said this morning, I've invited one of the deputies from the Liberia National Tourism Authority, who graciously accepted and is here. She even gave me a hard answer. But my guest this morning, like I announced, is Madam Channing Colley. She is here for us to talk more about what they are doing, and I'll ask some questions. So let's go over to her and say good morning. It's great to have you this morning. How are you?
I'm good, Marka. Good morning. What will I get you had?
When you already
my work that talking now.
Yeah, but it's good to have you. How's everything? How is the tourism authority?
The tourism authority is doing well. Everything is well. It's 26 season, so we're in our red, white, and blue spirit. I'm looking for your own red, white, and blue. But
yeah, today I am wearing something else. But did you bring anything? Any?
For the red, white, and blue?
Yeah.
I will see about that.
But welcome, it's great to have you again.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Okay. It's been, I think, less than a year.
Yes.
Since this institution started. I think it's one of the newest in the country. Give us some, maybe briefing, if I may call it, about how our team being. I know it is difficult to start from, the beginning going up. What has been some of the challenges from the beginning? How are things like now? Tell us.
So the Tourism Authority was fully operationalized January of this year.
Okay.
So in terms of operations and setup, around 7 months. But previously, before January, the Pioneer Director General, Honorable Princess Eva Cooper, and one of the deputies, Attorney Norris Dokpa, was appointed by the president.
Okay.
A board was formed. It's headed by Honorable Christopher Hazel Nanuga.
Okay.
And other board members constituted from representation from different ministries, Justice, Foreign Affairs, and the rest of the others, including the Ministry of Information. So that was constituted. That's like the administrative structure. Later this year, in June, the president appointed, and the House confirmed, the Senate confirmed, 3 additional deputies.
Okay.
Myself included, Mr. Melvin Na and Mr. Stevenson City. So administratively, the institution is fully formed. Operation started in January. The institution secured office space, recruited staff for critical roles.
Okay.
That recruitment process have 99% been completed. We also, during a period, the Director General made efforts with the UN Tourism. We've talked about that. Liberia was membership at the UN Tourism was fully restored. Just quite recently in Seychelles, our head of tourism was there making representation on behalf of the government of Liberia. Fast forward, the other things have been happening. The Ministry of Finance greatly supported 2 proposals, a couple of proposals from the LNTA.
Okay.
So recently we announced that the museum is closed for renovations. That museum is a historical building and built a long time ago, so renovation work on it is very delicate. So currently the museum is being closed and is being renovated under the PSIP projects. And it will be completed and open in December of this year. The Director General has a vision that has been fully endorsed by the President of the Providence Island. And that vision is to turn it into... One of the things with tourism is the experience is there, the natural beauty is there, but you have to have the infrastructure that supports it. So one of our key infrastructure landmark and historical landmark is Providence Island. So Providence Island project will be starting in August as well. So the Providence Island will be temporarily closed. And then that project spans over 4 phases. So the first phase will begin in August.
Okay.
So those are some of the things. I'm sure you've also seen that content creator, influencer from Africa, who is a key pusher with the minds in town. Thanks to partners in the sector, including RLJ and the rest of the ecologists as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's in town. The director general was able to get in contact with him through a mutual friend, and she pushed that he comes a little bit early since he was coming for the brunch program to highlight different sites within the country. So I'm very tired this morning because we've been on the road, but it has been a very good thing, pushing Liberia to our global partners and linking him with other local travel creators as well for lessons learned.
Okay. So the tourism sector or tourism as a whole has been described, sometimes over the years as Liberia's sleeping giant. Why has the sector struggled for decades?
Well, it's almost this is OKFM. I will give a practical example, right? This is OKFM, and you have a Marka Davis, for example, who is a powerful voice and a good man, and you make him Cashel. The potential that Marka can reach as a Cashel, you just be collecting money, giving receipt. So I think for a while, many of our governments before did not really see that potential. So the Tourism Authority operated as a bureau.
Okay.
So it was the Bureau of Tourism and the Bureau of Culture. And at that level, it was more of a policy-making arm. What this government has done through His Excellency Joseph Imampoika is position it as not only a policy-making arm, but action and result-oriented arm. So you see right now with the Tourism Authority, you have the regulatory powers. Our team is currently in Buchanan for 26, and they've been inspecting businesses in Buchanan. You have the side for marketing and promotions, which we are leading, is also done to promote the country to global audience, promote the country to local audience. So you have that promotional arm as well in the marketing arm. Then you have an investment finance arm in our finance and corporate services. So people who want to make intentional investment in the sector, how do you breach that long bureaucracy that is done with the authority? And you have the policy, which is led by Attorney Norris, which is the policy research and development arm. So you see that the government in this bill pass was intentional about designing the authority to be like a one-stop shop that makes the process easy and cuts down the bureaucracy that are needed, instead of having it in separate different ministries where intercoordination will delay things and approval will delay things. And then you have a director general that, it's not reporting to any president, she reports to the board. She's not reporting to any minister, she reports to the board, and then the board and her reports to the president. So you see the chain and the hierarchy is direct. She can speak to the president directly, she can speak to him on stuff. So this bill that was passed by this government was really intentional in cutting down the bureaucracies and getting results.
Okay. Cutting down the bureaucracies and getting results. Many Liberians still believe the LNTA is largely invisible outside Monrovia. I know 7 months operational, but how do you respond to such criticism?
I tell people all the time, and this is the thought of the Director General. She says it to us at least 6 to 7 times, in our meetings. Criticism shapes us. And yes, what many persons would call criticism, we see as a cry for a plead from Liberians that they want tourism in their areas. So I know that there are 4 to 5 coordinators, county coordinators now, and that's growing. The hope is to have 15 county coordinators in all of the 15 counties. But not just that.
With offices?
That's what I was going to. Not just having a person in the county. One of the things in our recent senior management meeting that was raised is building the infrastructures in those areas. So yes, it's early, but the plans are on the way for us to do that.
Okay. But let's talk a little bit more about this Providence Island and the National Museum issue you talk about. You said, and the restoration of Providence Island and the National Museum has generated excitement. A lot of people are excited about that. I think I saw something like a blueprint.
Yes, it is.
Yes, and it looked very beautiful. How sure are you, the authority, that we can achieve that? And is there a time plan set to it? Source of support for the project, considering that, remember, sometimes we've had beautiful plans that we want to be, for example, Bali Island or a kind of emerging city, and so when these kind of plans are coming up, Liberians are happy about it, but long delay make people to forget, the excitement dies. So I mean, what can you say about this plan for the Providence Island?
The Providence Island is no Bali Island project, that I can say for certain. One thing that has happened is the President of the Republic of Liberia is interested in that project, is championing the project.
Okay.
The Minister of Finance, and I know we've worked, the Director General has worked very closely with the Deputy Minister, Madam Bromskin, and the Assistant Minister, Madam McGill, Sarah, who has really championed, and these are people who are really interested, because I've sat in rooms with them and they're already invested in this project. And it's covered on a PSIP for the first phase.
Okay.
And we're hoping that the other phases will additionally be covered on the PSIP as well. So this is a government's investment.
Okay.
Well, it's not just an authority dream. It's a government's investment, and it's done. The Minister of State, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Finance, and all of the deputies, along with the authorities, working on making sure that this is achieved. So it's a collaboration across government, and the commitment is there. We've seen our commitment. We've seen what the commitment to do and how the process is going. So in August, the process will start for the Providence Island. For the museum, the process have already started.
Okay. And for the Providence Island, you talked about phases. What phase is starting in August?
So phase 1.
And what entails? What will be happening?
So there is Unity Monument.
Okay.
And it's like a pool. So on the island, we have water around, but no water is on, it's on the island. When you look at the design, you will see there's a statue, a Unity statue, and there are other monuments within that area, and there's a big body that looks like a pool. I like to say a reflective pool. That is the first step. There should be a cafe as well that is going up, because one of the things we have is we have a lot of schools that go to the Providence Island. You have guests, they come to the Providence Island and they want to stay there. They want to be in history, because Providence Island is so historic. You, as a descendant of one of our families that came, you want to stay there. You want to be in that space. You want to absorb the space. But the problem there is there's nothing for you to do there. You can't eat there. You can't have anything there. So we want to put something on the island that when people come, it's not just a 30 minutes tour or 20 minutes tour and you leave. It's something that you can stay, you can be there, you can reflect, you can connect with the country.
Okay. And what benefits? I know somebody would say you already know within your own mind the kind of benefit it come with, but somebody listening would say, but if you do all that one, what benefit now? The island is there, we still seeing it, we can pass there, people can come and pass around, but a new project, what value will it add to the history and the infrastructure of the island?
One is it would give the economic value to the island in a whole different way, right? The next thing is that on this trip that I've been on quite recently, is that when you have a space, or when you even travel, for example, and they give you like a statue. Let's say you go to the Nelson Mandela's monument area, right? you see that there are different infrastructures. You can go through those. You can spend a longer time. You can give the experience that the visitor needs. We don't have that right now. That's one of the things that our sector needs, right? Because you go to the Providence Island, we give you a story about the ship. Then the next question the visitors can always ask, so where the ship at?
Mm-hmm.
The students, when they're doing tours and they say, there's a ship, they say, so where the ship at? We have not been able to preserve those things. So this project includes even a wooden ship that will be a museum that you can go in and see how were they living, what was the way of life, how did they transport them. You can go there, all of those stories can be told. That is what creates an experience for a tourist, or whether it's international or domestic. It is that experience that we want to achieve at Providence Island. But besides that, the way the island is going to be built, on the side with the monument, the Central Bank side, there's going to be performing arts theater there.
Okay.
So you want the talents. We have a whole big creative industry. So you want to bring the creative industry to that island as well. So the theater that is going to be there is going to boost performance arts in the country. It's going to have a place that people can host events of such like. So the island has different components, and one of the things we can do is, since I am the the marketing person, I can bring someone with the technical know-how that can talk basically on the specs, what's going on the island, what is the positioning and all of that.
What will be its revenue generating potential? Let's talk about both the museum when completed and when that island project is also completed.
I would say it would scale up us by more than 40%.
Okay.
From what our current baseline we are currently at. We have a scale up of at least 40% in revenue generation from what both the museum and Providence Island are currently generating.
What will its management look like? What role will local communities, maybe historians and private sector in managing and sustaining these heritage sites?
So it seems like you was on. I had a call yesterday morning with the Director General, and one of the things that she's doing and she wants to see in 2027 is for us to document firstly all of our historical sites.
Okay.
Document them in terms of what was there, what is missing, what is the history of the site, and then there'll be a component for tour guide training as well for them to be certificated.
Okay.
Because you can today I can come, you say the ship was in the left space. The next time I come, you say, oh, it went to the right. The variance in stories of our historical sites can cause doubt. And so we don't want that. And she wants a process where it's completely documented. So that's where the historian comes in. Now, we cannot do history and leave out new media because, the world is shifting, right? The way storytelling is not in its original before form. Yeah. It's now going into new media and other things. So we want to bring that connect. Influencers and historians together to create new media versions of what our story is. It's not going to change the story. It's just going to tell it in a different way, in a more modern and connecting way for our young people. So those are some things that we're also going to be doing as well.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the visit of Wode Maya in the country. Is he from Ghana?
Yes, Wode Maya is from Ghana. He's positioned himself as a global African citizen, as he'd like to call himself. But he's been around 39 countries.
Okay.
And one of the things he's been doing is showcasing Africa in its beauty.
Why is he in Liberia, especially around our independence celebration?
So initially, the gathering and the brunch that is hosting the All Liberia Fest at SKD reached out to his team and booked him to come for
Okay.
this event that starts today. It's today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So 3 days of heavy partying and celebrating the 26th
Okay.
at SKD. And I sure they will kill me if I don't say, if you haven't gotten your ticket, get your ticket. But that's why he was here. That's what he was initially booked for. And then a mutual friend reached out to the director general and said, oh, he's coming. And she's like, okay, but is it possible for him to come like a couple of days early so we can showcase Liberia to the world as well as part of this coming to Liberia. So she reached out to him. It was on Sunday or so. It was on Saturday or Sunday. And then he responded immediately and was like, yes, I want to come in. I want to do this. So there was an email exchange, and then the formalities were settled.
Okay.
And then he, instead of coming yesterday, which was the 23rd, he came on the 20th. And he arrived at the airport. There was a networking kind of meet and greet for him at RLJ. And at that time, we were connecting local creatives with him because he came along with 4 other persons who are creatives as well.
Okay.
I think today makes it 5, an additional person, so like 6 persons. And our interest from the authority was, how can our Liberian creatives benefit from whatever this person is doing to reach global audience? Because domestic tourism is good for us, yes. We want to promote our domestic tourism, but we also want to tap into that global audience as well. You know, if people are talking about Liberia, there should be content, there should be things online that are reaching global audience that they can connect with. So that meet and greet happened after the trail went to Patawi. From Patawi, we went to Nema Mountain. And yesterday they climbed up for like 6-7 hours to the tribe border. And after the tribe border, we came back to Monrovia, got in by midnight, and then went to Cruiserville
Okay.
to talk about the Bayesian Liberia roots. So that happened yesterday. We made it to Providence Island and Providence Baptist Church. While we were doing it, and there was a lot of singing in the Providence Baptist Church of the national anthem. And he kept saying, what kind of beautiful song? What is that beautiful song? So we went up, and then the Providence Baptist Choir did a rendition of the national anthem. Today, the team is going to be at SKD for the 3 days. And then after, we will be making our way to Rapper Sports.
Well, that is good. I know I've been following. I saw some 3.6 million follower of him on just Facebook, and he has a huge followings, and which is good when you showcase. And I think the tourism authority plays smart with what you've done to admit. He's being able to show some of our very important areas in the country. But after these things, people will start to ask, how much did the tourism authority spend to bring? You didn't bring him, but the partnership you built, they will start to ask questions about accountability. And again, another thing is, we saw on Facebook other content creators, local content creators, criticizing, oh, you give too much leverage to outsiders than your own people. What do you tell people who make these kind of statements?
So one thing I would say for a fact is that William Bayer coming to Liberia was both interests from his side and the authority side.
Okay.
I can assure you that what it will cost, like what people think that figure is not. It's even below 10% of what people think.
But what people think the figure is?
I will give you an example. It's below even maybe 5% of it. Yesterday, someone, he told me this, we're on a trip, and he said, somebody said, "Oh, give me 50,000 to correct your actual speed mistake," and I paused and started laughing. I said, by the time you reach the 50,000, please send me 25% of it, and we laugh about it. But no, the authority did not spend. We do not even have that in our budget to spend. Our budget don't include bringing content creators and everything for now because it was mostly operational.
Okay.
Maybe as we go to 2027, we'll start to budget for those things, but our budget won't cover anything for content creators or promotion or anything, which is very important for the country. So it was a both way. It was mutually, both parties were interested. When it comes to the coverage, you see, for example, RLG, which I like to give a lot of shout out to. When we approached them to say, this team is coming and we need to do this, we need to do that, they said, we'll meet you halfway. So our partners in the sector also is supporting this, not by cash or anything. I mean, they're not giving us cash, but the services they're rendering at their own cost. So this was intentional efforts. It was, basically the country rallying together, the sector rallying together to bring this person here. As for the issue with the content creators, I will take my time to talk about this because there are a couple of things. One, gaining international audience is very critical for any content creator. If you have 4,000 followers, and 4,000 followers are Liberian based, when you travel to Sierra Leone, they might not give you that rousing welcome that you hope to get. 6 years ago, Woody Meyer had over 4,000, 5,000 followers. He came to Liberia. We didn't even know he was here. You know?
He been here before?
Yes, he was here 6 years ago.
Okay.
You didn't know, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. But at that time, he was working to build his following. He did content here. He posted it online. We didn't know. Currently, his reach is over 10 million. There's a video of Patawi where the owner of Patawi was talking about she built the place 6 years.
Yeah, I saw that one.
That video, for example, was posted in an hour's time. The video had over 600,000 views. The country benefits both in and out. It is not that we are not seeing our content creators. It's not that we are not giving a space to them. This entire trip for Woody Meyer, Check Liberia, which is one of our big content creators in the travel and blogging field. He has over 700 videos. He's leading this trail along with a young guy called Wendell King. Wendell is also a tour guide. He's been on all of our trails. He's been leading the tours. And Woody Meyer has been sharing them as well on his page. So benefiting from that exposure as well.
Collaboration
is all that it takes, you know. If you want, and I tell people, our offices are always open.
And we've been seeing this thing repeated. Even if a performing artists come to Liberia, couple of days we'll see other artists criticizing, Liberian people. I mean, does this mean that we should not be bringing in other international guests, and whereby they too are always seeking opportunity to go in other people's countries?
So the question I'll ask is, I will talk it the Liberian way. How you will blow? Yes, because let's be realistic. If you're only going to be in a specific area, how you will blow? You know?
Yeah.
And I want to be very careful how I talk about this. But the next thing is that there are specific niche, right? You're journalists, you're talk show hosts, right? That's your area, right? You do news, agree. There are other people who do vlogging, you know, short video reports. They do that. That's their area. When it comes to content, there are areas. You have Check Liberia, that is a content creator, a Liberian content creator, but he's been focused on country diaries. He travels, he do all of that. That is
Marka.
Yes, that is his area, right? So if we're pairing a content creator from Liberia to the Woody Meyer team for content creation in issues of travel, we will look for a person who is in travel.
Yeah.
You understand? That's how you repair people. What is your specific area? It's very important for you to look at that as well. Because it's not as if we don't respect you. No, we have. How will we not respect our own? The whole essence of bringing people like this is to give the platform to your own as well. But what is your area? You know, I've seen some of the complaints. I've reached out to some of the people, but I beg you, my people.
So some of them called. Some of them called or sent a message to you.
Some of them didn't. Some of them, I mean, I reached out as a, you know.
Who are the key people complaining?
You want me to call me and you're not be prepared, mama. But but I would say to all of the creators in the country that LNTA role is to support you. You know, if you're doing music, our role is to connect you with the musicians, and, you know, for you to be able to blow.
Okay.
You know, if you're doing travels, our role is to do it. If you're doing comedy, our role is to do the same. So when we are pairing people, it's not to create a rift. You know, it's just because this is this person's area. This is what this person is doing, and they can learn. And on this trip, what I've seen firsthand is that Koto and Wendell, they watch what he's doing. And they ask, and there are some even documented on. So why is it you're doing this content this way? Akpatawi, for example, he said, "My man, I've never seen this waterfall before. Are there content creators in Liberia?" And Koto was like, "I've been here 2 times." He said, "Then you have to change the way you do things. You have to do it this way. You have to do it that way for you to reach to international audience." That's the lesson we want.
Which is very important. So, what specific role is the tourism authority playing in the whole LRB Fest and generally the Independence Day celebration this year?
Oh yes, I get excited to see I'm in my Liberia jersey today. All roads leading Buchanan and SKD today. So the Liberia brunch and gathering team reached out to the authority for an endorsement and partnership in holding a 3 days Independence Fest. For tourism, culture, creative economy, which we deal with, is about experience. It really is about experience. You know, you can have the infrastructure, you can have this, you can have the beautiful beaches, but people want to come for the experience. And we're happy that for the first time in a very, very long time, because I don't want to say ever, before somebody say Jenny, fact check Jenny. But for first time in a very, very long time, there is a national 3-day independence celebration happening. And the funny thing about it is that when I spoke with Jenkins, who's leading this, Jenkins was like, this has to be for everybody. So for 3 days, the ticket is 300 LD.
Okay.
You know, if you want to go to VIP, it's $10.
Okay.
So you can get your tickets on mobile money, you can do all of that. And the SKD is starting at 11 o'clock today. They did sound check yesterday. I think you saw the video on Facebook when the Chinese guy dancing. Yeah. So the country, we want the country to come together. It's our 26th celebration. It's our 26th time. It's our Independence Day. This is when you have that, your heart is beating Liberia than ever before. So come and celebrate the 26th with us. Most of the Liberian stars will be there. There is no international booking other than Woody Meyer that I know of, but it's mostly all Liberian independence celebration for 3 days. Also, the authority is leading in Buchanan. You know, we're going to Buchanan. I'm going to Buchanan. I'm here today for the All Liberian Fest, and then tomorrow I leave for Buchanan. In Buchanan, we know people won't be able to leave from Sino, Rewa G to come to Monrovia for this fest. So in Buchanan, there is a big Liberian experience happening on the Buchanan Boulevard.
Okay.
And that Liberian experience is going to have musicians there. I know Kobasi is going to be there, Stonda is going to be there. They're working on other artists. That's going to be there on the 26th day itself, which is on Sunday. And there will be a whole Domo experience. So you can come with the Chef Association. They will have Domo there. There will be Club Beer is also partnering, so there will be Club Beer there. So there's a whole Liberia experience powered by the authority that's going to be happening at the Boulevard in Buchanan. will be a carnival parade that begins from Monrovia Junction, and it will go to the boulevard, and that celebration will be there. So if you in Sino, you in Basso, you in River G, or you just around the Buchanan Belt, that will be happening on Sunday at the Buchanan Boulevard. But there's going to be a carnival style parade in Buchanan that's going to be happening as well.
Okay, out of the good things you have said, very important. Liberia still faces major infrastructure challenges, including poor roads, limited hotel capacity in some regions, inadequate tourist facilities. How can the country realistically compete with destinations like Ghana, the Gambia, and others?
Intentional investment. Intentional investment. The reason I would say this is because we want to be this big tourist destination. God has given us the things to be this big tourist destination, but we have to invest in the sector. When it comes to infrastructure, we have to invest in infrastructure.
Okay.
When it comes to business and experiences, we have to invest into them. You know, and I'm not saying that we must mimic another country. That's not the interest.
Mm-hmm.
The interest is, this is what we want to be, and let's invest in it. The only way you can have a return on investment, that's why they say return on investment, is there must be an investment.
To get return on.
That's the very first thing. So we must intentionally invest in the sector. Liberians across the globe, whether diaspora or here, across the globe, must be able to say tourism has a potential in the country. We've seen that the tourism authority is trying to bring a lot of spotlight to this country. For us to be able to maintain this, let's go and invest in the sector. Whether you have a farm in Granjide, or whether you have a farmland in Sino, you could do an agriculture villa. Patawi, for example, is a farm to table. It's an agro business, right? So Patawi grows the food and then it's eaten by those who visit there. You can do a simple villa or simple farm experience. Even if you have an orange farm or cocoa farm, you can put some chattels there and create an experience there. At the end of the day, when we have visitors, we will be showcasing those places in that area. We're going to Nima Mountain today because there is Nima, the Nima Eco Lodge. We're going to Roberts Post because there is surfing happening. There must be an activity that drives people to that place. So Liberians, all of us. And the good thing about tourism is a self-employing business. You know, you don't have to wait to get employed. You can employ yourself.
Since the tourism authority got operational last, has anything changed in terms of driving tourists to Liberia? And do you see the potential or the prospect of people actually investing in the sector, which you have identified as one of the key things that should happen?
Well, Marka, we're talking about tourism today at a different level. This is a change, right? Awareness comes first, right? Appreciation of the sector comes, second, and then investment in the sector will follow. So we're working on those tiers.
Are you seeing interest?
Yes. We're seeing interest. For example, we're going to launch in August the tourism booking website, right? Okay. That website, what's going to happen with it is tour operators across the country will have the tour packages on the website, right?
Okay.
And then anyone in Liberia or outside Liberia that want to book a tour can go right there, click book, and talk directly with the operator.
Okay.
So it's going to be straight dealings with the business. We're just creating a hub to facilitate those connections. And I mean, we've been working with some of our tour operators, and we see people coming on board, people who are doing bird watching, for example, heritage tours, for example. Those were things where I don't think a lot of people in Liberia know about. So that will be published, and we'll make a lot of noise about that so that Liberians can start to firstly travel Liberia, experience Liberia. On this trip, up to the tribe borders, even one of our tour operators were like, I've never claimed here before. So we need to start appreciating what we have, traveling what we have, and then we have the outside interest in coming. But is that interest there? If that's the question, yes, the interest is there.
Well, if you are just joining us, you're listening to the OK Morning Rush here on OKFM 99.5. Our guest this morning is Madam Jenin Jala Colley, Deputy Director General for Marketing and Promotions at the Liberia National Tourism Authority. You launch an initiative where you open up for people in a hospitality sector to enroll in a system or register, something like that. You remember? How far are you going with that?
The registration for our businesses.
Yes.
Yes, our mail data suite is currently up and running. We've been more than 200 businesses from Monrovia that's registered for that. On that, our licensing and registration team have uploaded to our site. The team currently is in Basel.
Okay.
They've been there for a while now because of all of the activities going to Basel. They're there to do inspection and to onboard businesses as well.
Moving forward, what are your expectations, or what should be Liberians' own expectation of the tourism sector 5 years, 10 years from now? Because you are laying a foundation now.
Yeah. Pioneer members, as the Director General can say.
Yeah.
But for Liberians, I would say that in 5 years, if it's not every Liberian, which is not possible for every Liberian to own, but at least 1 out of 10 Liberian should be able to be gainfully enjoying the tourism sector. So whether you're a tour operator, whether you're a business person, whether you have produce that you sell, whether you're in the creative sector, you should be able to at least, at the end of a month, say, this is what I'm getting from the tourism sector. The only way that's going to happen, if it's 1 in every 10 persons in this country invest something in the sector.
Okay, let's go to the Liberian people who are following. Maybe they have some questions to ask you.
I'm about to get roasted.
So call to participate 0777-700-995, 0555-995-995 are the numbers you can call. Let's talk Liberia. Like I always say, let's talk in peace. We will do development, but we cannot do development in crisis. Let's take the first caller right here. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. This is Ato Aweli, the president of the National Photographers Union.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks so much. And we want to say a very big thanks to the National Tourism Authority for the level of work they continue to do in the country. When after my election in March, I engaged in by writing the DG. She was very, very much helpful to us and sent us to the office of the marketing. And they did extremely well. We've been engaging them to really work together. I think it's a very good beginning to start to think about this kind of way. Because the creative sector, especially like the photographers, we just been known for just taking photo on Broad Street, wedding, and graduation. But I think with the work the tourism authority is doing, can be able to elevate some of those photographers to a lot of other, the geographical, photographing. We can do a lot of photographing and the drone and other things. So we just want to continue to thank them. But I know, unfortunately, this year we were not part of the 26th celebration when they were invited, which we are not disappointed about. We know next year, I know that they will invite us, or we will be able to engage the office. We already started engaging them. We know we'll work together. So that we can even Providence Island, they're doing the renovation. After the renovation, we'll work with them, the office, and see how we can collectively work to develop this country. Without that, we're going nowhere. And so I think that I want to say again, thank you so much for hosting them, and thanks so much for the level of work to continue to do for our country.
Okay, thank you. Let's take this one. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Marka. Good morning to your studio guest. My name is Bobby Vance. I call from Monrovia.
Go ahead.
First, let me say good morning to your guest. I think she's eloquently presenting the case of the tourism sector. But here is it. Liberia, the bulk of the resort area are privately owned by people, by individuals. Like other countries, they depend heavily on the tourism potential to raise resources for their country. I don't know whether there is a plan for the tourism sector of this country to engage into, establishing those tourism areas. For instance, look at what is happening in Yekepa is being owned by an individual. You look at Wakolo in Kema is owned by an individual. I think we need to now diversify it, and it should, because it has seen remuneration. So that's why I just wanted to know whether they are contemplating on that, ensuring that they get their own tourism infrastructure.
Okay, thank you. Also, place your own call to 0777 700 995 0555 995 995. Good morning. Okay, that caller slipped off the line. Let's take this one. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, brother Marka David.
Good morning.
Good morning to the Deputy Director of the Institute from the National Tourism Authority of Liberia.
Okay.
This is Thursday morning, Barclay. Joining you from the main offices of the Great Revolution of Liberia. You see, the sector is large, and they just got established. So I'm aware there are lots of challenges, but I will also join them in the advocacy so that in that project year there can be huge increment so that our tourist sites in Liberia can be well prepared, funded and operated. So when investors come, they could be able to visit those sites so that we too can generate money and make this place one of those beautiful cities around the world. Because we have those tourist sites here, Marka. You know what I'm talking about. Across the entire country, if the tourism is supported to the core, then we have a beautiful tourism site. When investors come, they will have to go there. So let me say thanks to all of them there at that place. I do not know the impression, but it has to do with Liberia.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, my name is Mr. Special and I call from the Super. I'm very much excited because this is a very huge potential area, and very much convinced that the team, that is on board now trying to make sure that we achieve a lot from that place, from those tourism areas. They are very serious, and is like a business on it. So I'm very much convinced that she's a very serious minded person, and that team seems to be very serious. And I know we're going to get a lot from them. Jenny, I say kudos to you people. You are doing well. I'm convinced that we will reach there because I know the people that are humble.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is John Collins.
Okay.
From the Cinco Bell. To the studio guys, very good. Tourism is a very good issue that bringing development in the government. But the problem is, firstly, we should have security. You know, other countries that have this thing, they have security in the country. The place should be secure. You know, Liberia is a place, very small country. That can be development. In fact, as youth, we get employment, riches, will be more, you know. But the only thing is, we need security and we need the government involvement to have good places where people can kind of visit. Because Liberia is very small. We can make it. You see the Gambia? This is what's going on in the Gambia. So in the Gambia, if you are there, I'm telling you, my brother, from 6 o'clock to 6 o'clock, army men and policemen, they are in the street, guarding the place. That no rebels will be in the street to harass people or the old people. You can see one lady alone walking in the street around 1 or 2 o'clock or 3. Nobody can arrest her or take anything from her. Like people there robbing people, taking people telephone, killing people.
All right.
Cannot happen.
Thank you.
Security.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let me take this overseas call. Good morning.
Good morning. Is it okay?
Yes, good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Lawrence Cooper. I'm calling from Pennsylvania,
Okay.
Philadelphia. To be specific, good morning, Madam Colley, and good morning, Mr. Moderator. I want to thank you and say Happy Christmas to all of us.
Independence.
Yeah, Happy Independence to all of us. Happy 26th of May. Sorry, it's early here. I just woke up. But anyway, I thank you all for showcasing Liberia the way you are doing for the 26th. I'm really happy we all are get up to over here in the diaspora ready to celebrate. But I want to raise a concern here with Madam Jala. Maybe you can take it to your people. I think the price of hotels and Airbnb in Liberia are extremely as compared to other countries. So even as far India, for example, a family member that visited India recently, price of like a medium hotel that can be compared to our 5 stars in Liberia is almost like $75 a night with a lot of services. So if you can collaborate, if you guys can collaborate with the Ministry of Commerce, maybe hosting, I don't know who is really in charge of that. So we can know why the guys charging you for a hotel in Liberia for $250. I think that's a rip off considering. So I just thought I'd share the light on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll just go back to her. To begin with, do you have the authority to regulate that? What you just spoke about?
Yes, we do.
I hope we can get blessing here to yes. Go ahead, G.
So first, let me say good morning to everybody who extended a good morning to me. To my church brother and the Green Revolution brother, thank you very much for the compliments and the vote of confidence in the authority. On the issues of price and for hotels and Airbnbs. So that's part of our regulatory power, right? And one of the things we had to do first was to do the policy.
Okay.
Because the policy must have been done first. So ECOWAS have a standard rating for hotels.
Okay.
And those standard ratings go along with prices. When we had our consultations with the different stakeholders, what the hotel management brought to our attention is the issue of operational costs. So right now, there is a policy that has been completed on tourism standards, hotel standards in the country. So first thing, some 5 stars are not 5 stars. Because 5 stars must have certain categories and certain things under them. Also, some 2 stars, 3 stars are not. For example, and I was here the last time I talked about it, cement bed is banned. Whether your motel, your hotel, cement bed is banned. So right now, the tourism authority is working through its inspectorate team to firstly inspect the hotels and understand what are their standards.
Okay.
From there, then they will give the star ratings, the registration and licensing teams. The star ratings, when it's done, you have to charge per your star. You can be a 2-star and charging a 5-star price, even giving operational costs. So that's one side of it. Another side of it is value for money, right? If you spend if I'm willing to spend $250 for a night, the value I'm getting for that must be felt. So value for money is another thing that the tourism authority is working on as well. So those are 2 things that we're currently working on.
Okay. You're gonna respond to other concerns from the callers.
I think most of the callers expressed a vote of confidence. We are happy that we're receiving that, and we also are cautious that the confidence and the support comes with performance. So the authority is going to work hard to meet up with these expectations that have been laid out for us.
Okay. Well, your parting comments.
It is always a pleasure to be here, and I hope you get. I don't argue much, so I hope you can invite us as much as possible, so we can have right now most of our team is in Buchanan. That's why I'm here alone. But as we go forward, we will have a lot of other deputies to come and talk about what they are doing as well in their specific departments. But we appreciate OKFM and all that you do. Marka, thank you so much for what you did today and what you did yesterday and the days other by putting Liberia on the agenda. These videos that are done by our different media institutions give an outlook of what our country is doing and what our priorities are. So we thank you so much for the invitation.
Okay, thank you for coming. So she is or has been my first guest here this morning on the OK Morning Rush on OKFM 99.5. Her name is Madam Jenin Kadiatu Jalakoli, the Deputy Director General for Marketing and Promotions at the Liberia National Tourism Authority. So we're hoping that at 9, or a couple of minutes after 9, we'll have the Director General of the Liberia Agriculture Commodity Regulatory Authority, Mr. Christopher Sankolo, the man who was suspended and came back. A very rare happening in the Buckeye administration. Just few, one of very, very few. But let's go for this Liberian song right here on the OK Morning Rush.
Witches, we gonna hit y'all crazy and make you shake your body. Drop your voodoo. Girl, don't act a moo. Shake and rock your body. Rock and shake your body. Rock it, shake it, rock it. Hey.
Maziza chocho, mon anges runye. Maziza chocho, mon anges runye. Tony konjinwe, ziem bien mweni. Des croissants encore, des dires encore. Maziza chocho, mon anges runye. Tony konjinwe. Si un bien moni, des croissants encore, des dires encore. Daga chingaji ba nyon pa ka kwin mama bogo ndebe ni se nyon de wa na nyon de ba nyon cheje. Ekelake daga chingaji ba nyon pa ka kwin mama bogo ndebe ni se nyon de wa na nyon ba de ba nyon cheje. Ekelama mereke madake wa sen ka wa ni ke wa ble wa bere be ke wa ta wa ni ji ke wa ji more da mo bwenwe. Ekelake daga chingaji ba nyon pa ka kwin mama bogo ndebe ni se nyon de wa na nyon ba de ba nyon cheje. Ekelama mereke madake wa sen ka wa ble wa bere be ke wa ta wa bere to all your chunch me bitches, your kakaleka witches, we gonna hit y'all crazy and make you shake your body. Or drop your voodoo. Oh girl, don't act a moo. Or shake and rock your body. Or rock and shake your body. Rock it, shake it, rock it. Hey. Maziza chocho, mon anges runye. Maziza chocho, mon anges runye. Pony konjinwe, zien bien mweni. Des croissants encore, des dires encore. Maziza chocho, mon anges runye. Pony konjinwe, zien bien mweni. Des croissants encore, des dires encore.
You look like Kaka, Leka, dressed like old man Beka. Yeah, Leka, Beka. Oh, Beka, Beka, where your big trusted don't not singing fa la di da di da di da. Oh man, you good to be trusted don't not flare. Oh man, you good to be trusted don't not flare. Drop your voodoo girl, move your body right in, your body right. No time to confess, don't act like moo. Oh, I'm gonna melt you Christmas stone. Keep on looking low, no, I'm gonna make you go. Welcome to my show. Oh, yeah, hoka hoes and yeah, tika low. Hoka Joe, sorry if I hurt you, but you so in my crew. I'm talking to the stupid fool. All of y'all people that criticize me. It's crazy, big me. I'm doing this loyalty for my LIB people, my Liberian people. I love y'all, my people.
Oh yes, Casey, big name doing this one for LIB people, the Liberian people, and Blessing is just vibing and vibing and vibing. She's just starting the Independence Day celebration. She has to do something for me this morning. But let's go for this very soft one from Peter Cole. Yes, let's get it from Peter Cole. Stay alive. Yes.
Of sound and I woke up sound and strong this morning. A lot of questions on my mind. Is to you more is away. Do we care? Do we worry about the way this world is going? About the million things I say. Do we dream of another world somewhere nowhere in the sky? Do we wanna keep surviving, surviving? What about music? What about children? What about nature's quest to stay alive? Stay alive. We must listen, we must listen. Stay alive. We must share, we must share. For a while, one must say, the state of where is mine, where is mine. The state of where is mine, where is mine. Ain't now every action say every day. No one wants to be the weaker one, the weaker one. What's the price for the strong? Do we spill on grave or on blood? I'm right, we say I'm right. If history has taught us no lessons, is that we need to teach our children, our children. Will the rebel be the strongest? What about music? What about children? What about eight steps in poverty? Stay alive. We must listen. We must listen. Stay alive. We must share. We must share. For a while, one must say, one must stay to where is mine, where is mine. The state of where is mine, where is mine. Does it really matter who you are? Does it really matter where you're from? Does it really matter what you believe?
Peter Ko, a Liberian musician who is based in Senegal. He's been doing very good work for a very long time too. That's my friend Oni Raba's best friend there. Yes, a beautiful one there. So, folks, good morning again. Welcome to the OK Morning Rush here on OKFM 99.5. Like I announced this morning, our guest is now in studio, Mr. Christopher Sankolo, the head of LACRA, is here. As one of the few, very few, if there are even others, who got, suspended and came back. I remember one cabinet meeting, the first or second cabinet meeting when the president said, you have to leave well. Other than that, if you get suspended, no matter who brought you here, you may not come back. So, it became kind of cliche where people can say, when you get suspended, you're not coming back. But I think his case is different. It depends on how you live. But let's go to him and say, good morning, Mr. Sankolo. It's great to have you this morning.
Good morning, Marka. It's good to be here after 1 year. I think I had my last interview with Clarence, and then in just 1 week later I was suspended. So it's good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to come back.
Thank God.
Yeah, that is great. But again, publicly, let me say, welcome back to your work.
Thank you. You know, like you were saying, the president said that time, we don't care who bring you when you mess up, we kick you up.
You're not going back.
Nobody, you're not going to come back. But you know, our case was different because the president had just awarded us, you know, on June 12th as the best performer for 2024 in the government. And then 1 week later, we were suspended. So our case was really different.
So, you know, you've returned to lead LACRA. Firstly, before we talk about your return, I mean, how was it like, considering that just in a week time, I mean, you've won as the best performing institution in line with the performance contract.
Yeah.
And then after 1 week, you saw suspension. I mean, how did you receive that news?
Well, it was shocking. It was a shock. But again, it was something that, to some extent, you know, I expected. To some extent, because before that time there was this, you know, this internal wrangling and all of that. So, you know, so that morning, in fact, I had just returned from Zwedru. We were partnering with the EFI, European Forestry Institute. We were having some workshops on awareness in the southeast with our farmers on the EUDR thing, the new European regulation. And then we had to close it in Monrovia. So we were having that closing program at the Center for Records on 12th Street.
Yeah, and I attended that program.
Okay. So, and then interestingly, I had another meeting with UNIDO at the Ministry of Commerce, the Liberia Food Safety Initiative project. You know, we serve on the project committee, steering committee. So we had a meeting planned for that same day. And the lady kept calling me. I said, I'm coming, but I got to open this workshop before I come. So I just delivered my opening address at that workshop, and then I left hurriedly on my way to the other side. As soon as I boarded the vehicle, then I received a call from my HR, crying bitterly. Have you heard the news? And I just said, oh, so I've been suspended too? Because remember that time the president was on the spray of, you know, taking those kind of action. And then I just went home and pray, and my staff came looking for me, crying, and I just told them that day, I said, well, don't cry, because I know I will come back, because I did nothing wrong, so I'm very sure I will come back. And I told them, I gave them a word. I said, the president is on record for suspending people and they don't come back, but in my case, I will come back. So just go, do your best, work with the management team, obey them, give them all of the support, but I will come back. Yeah. And then after 1 year, I came back.
Exactly. So it was 1 year. I don't know what you call it, leave or sabbatical.
No, but it was a great experience. It was a great experience. We had to go through all the investigation with LACC and the GAC. We had to go through all of that, and it was a great experience. You know, I learned a lot from that too, because remember we took over this institution, you know, from scratch, and so some things we were doing there, we're trying to put things in order. So I learned. It was a great experience. Yeah.
And the comeback call. What was the impression of the comeback call? I mean, when you got reinstated.
So you know, they say the president is slow but sure. So we've gone through the process. By January, I was clear, and then you'll be thinking, oh, okay, so things will soon happen, and it did not happen until June. So I mean, that evening, I received this call from somebody. DG, congratulations, and you know, and that was on the 8th of June, around 9 in the night, and from there on, I mean, it was just overwhelming. The calls were overwhelming. So it was great.
Did you actually expect that you have gone back to LACRA, or maybe the president would just send me somewhere else?
Well, we all in the executive serve at the will and pleasure of the president. So that, in the first place, I was not even 100% sure that, you know, I could go back, because, well, the president could also say, well, I mean, let him just stay, even though he's being investigated and cleared. But we said, by his will and pleasure, he could just say, let him just stay. No. So I was also thinking that I could go back to LACRA, I could go somewhere else, or I mean, I could just stay home.
But Okay, that's good. So from where you left, you sat out and watched for 1 whole year, and you came back. Tell us from what you left or where you left, if I may say, and coming back. I mean, what did you meet, and what could be your evaluation of people who were acting in your absence?
Well, evaluation, yes, but that will be done by other forces because I'm an actor, so I cannot say for sure my evaluation. But I can only tell you that we all know it's an open secret when we took Lacra was zero. In fact, there were people that were appointed to go to Lacra and they refused. You know, you go on the e-marshal website that is there during the formation of the government, and some of them refused. But I mean, if that's the only place, Mr. President, you got to say, I'm not going there. You know, and then we got there and took the challenge. And then we took Lacra from really, literally zero, you know, and we set to work. We put our team to work and we started to rebrand the institution. I told the staff, we will rebrand this institution because everywhere you went, you introduce yourself from Lacra, people like, but where is Lacra or what is Lacra? So one promise I made to the staff, I said, after 1 year, nobody will ask us what is Lacra or where is Lacra. And then, so we set to work. We tried to rebrand, renovate the offices because we got there no computer, no anything to work with. Even in the DG's office, there was no chair, you know. And so we did all of those. In 1 year, we refurbished the building. We put electricity, constant electricity, because we bought 250 kVA generators, and then we also, you know, to back that up, we also work with LEC and we pay for a 100 kVA transmitter that was there. We ran water into the building. We bought buses for the staff. I mean, you name that. In 1 year, we did all of those. And then when we were suspended, we had about $1.2 million in our accounts, you know, because our target was that the next year, which was 2025 to 2026, we were going to work that at least we can make the case to be autonomous, you know, that we can take care of our own salaries, you know, take care of our own payrolls, and then, if possible, make some contribution to the national government, to the national budget.
Okay.
And so we did not keep those money in the account out of, you know, something else. While we were taking care of renovation, other things, we were still making those plans, working towards them. And then we were suspended in June. So June to June, that's another 1 year because I was suspended June 26th, reinstated June 8th. And then the interim team was there. They worked for 1 year too, 1 whole year. And they were now buying generators. We have already bought those generators. They were now renovating the offices. They were now buying computers. And then they worked another 1 year. And then we've gone back and then we tried to review the records. The report they gave us was very bad. You know, we left 1.2 million after 1 year, after doing all that we did. And we went back after 1 year. And then they gave us a report of $110,000 in the account. So, I mean, and I don't know what was up, but anyway, the board took a decision for us to do some audit and all the other things. But, I mean, we made Lacra up almost the way we left it. And so our task again is to start the rebranding and then moving forward. And we're not going to sit in the offices now. We're going to move in the counties. We got to deliver for our farmers. As a matter of fact, our last budget when we left, we have had in that budget, you know, some real stuff for our farmers and our other actors, the exporters, the buyers of cocoa materials. I mean, cocoa produce. So we had a lot of things, and then unfortunately those things did not work. So we're going to start. We are starting again, you know, and our farmers can rest assured we'll be getting to them very soon.
Okay, the farmers can rest assured. But what concrete changes should Liberians expect under your returned leadership, if I may call it, at this time? I mean, that will convince stakeholders the agency is back on track.
So in the first place, you know, we regulate 3 major commodities at the time, and that is cocoa, coffee, and oil palm.
Yeah.
And we have our signature coffee, our flagship, commodity, and that is the coffee Liberica. Coffee Liberica grows only in Liberia, according to what we've seen. It grows only in Liberia, and then my first term, I would say every travel I made was for coffee, and I had gone to Dubai. I tried to sell the idea of our coffee Liberica to attract investors. So I met this Ethiopian delegate, and we're talking, and I'm trying to tell them, oh, our coffee is the best. Coffee Liberica is the best coffee. You have various types of coffee. You have Robusta, you have Arabica, and that's worldwide. But Liberica is only for Liberia. So he's like, how many, what was your production level last year? No, he's like, what's your production level? I said, what do you mean? He said, okay, last year, what was your production level? I'm like, oh, we shipped 117 tons of coffee Liberica. He said, did you say 117,000 tons? I said, no, 117 tons. He said, oh, no, but then you know where with it, and you're going to catch hard time in trying to sell that idea. And so when I came back, I tasked myself. I said, we got to make sure, since the world wants coffee Liberica so much, we got to make sure to put more resources into coffee Liberica. So in our last budget, we planned to produce, to make more nurseries of coffee Liberica. So coming back, I'm so happy we met that working already in partnership with IITA.
Okay.
And immediately after the 26th, to give more assurance to our farmers that we're going to really impact them, we're going to reach to them. On the 28th of this month in Banga, we're going to launch the official distribution of coffee Liberica seedlings to farmers in Bong, Lofa, Nimba, Monserrado, and parts of Bomi. We have about 600,000 seedlings. That's over 500,000. We're going to start the distribution free of charge at no cost to the farmers. We take it to them, we take it to their farms, and then our technicians will help them to start, the transplanting and all the other things. We've done the recruitment of farmers in those counties I'm talking about. We've done the mobilization. And so by the 28th, immediately after the 26th, we're going to hit the ground running with that. We're going to start the distribution of those seedlings to the farmers. And then that's going to continue so that after 2 years or 3 years, when we go to those conferences, we can tell people that our production level for our signature coffee is around even 1 million tons instead of talking about 117 tons and now 117,000 tons. So besides that, we still have our plans to reach our farmers in the cocoa sector. So we're going to be entering into PPPs, private public partnership, to train our farmers, to train some of our local buyers in the cocoa sector. Somebody will be selling rice, and the rice business now going to close their shop, and they say I'm going to buy cocoa, and then cocoa needs to be handled properly. There are ways to handle cocoa, so we're going to be, providing more training for our farmers in handling, and not only the farmers, even the buyers in handling of the commodity, so that our cocoa value can, improve on the world market. Right now, most of the cocoa we export is just about grade 2. We want to leave from grade 2 to grade 1, and LACRA has a responsibility to do that. And then the big one is we were working on the amendment of the Act, the LACRA Act, while I was there. And then we were getting somewhere with it until I was suspended. So that's the primary thing on our agenda. We're going to, that Act, the proposed amendment is already before the legislature.
Okay.
And if it is passed by the legislature and signed by the president, LACRA is going to go big time. We'll move from just regulation to promotion, and then we're going to have all the powers LPMC had before, and even more. We're going to to get into the development of farms. These companies, Golden Verilium, MOPP, all the companies that are in oil palm, for example, they have not reached their full potential. Golden Verilium want to do 220,000 hectares. They have only done 20,000 hectares. And then the other one they can't do because of lot of issues, the land issue and all the other things. So if that act is passed, that act is going to give LACRA more authority to negotiate, to enter into agreement with the locals. We'll get the land from the locals, and then the companies or the investors will develop the land, and the government wants to do away with people, companies coming or investors coming and taking our people's land. No. So this time around, our people will still own their land, and their contribution to the investment will be their land. The equity will be their land, and the investors will develop the land to do LACRA, and then we'll work with the community people to develop the land, and then what the community people will do after the development is LACRA is going to distribute the development on the community people. You know, that we got our own policy per hectare. We're going to give it back to the community people, and then they work the farms to pay back the investors on their investment over a period of time. And after the payment, then of course the community can own, whatever investment that is. Instead of like Firestone came and just took the land and planted. No, we're not going to do that. So those are the things that are on our plate, and we were a little bit slow on the oil palm sector. We right now, the interim management team, thanks to them, they were able to put in place a policy on the oil palm, and then so we're going to roll it out. We're going to make some addition, make some adjustment. We're going to make some adjustment to that policy and start rolling it out so that we can be in full control. Because right now, what's happening in the oil palm sector is unthinkable. You go to the borders, you see our oil being smuggled out, in huge quantity, in large quantities. So we're going to take full control of those things,
Yeah, so thank God you mentioned smuggled, because these were some of the issues that have been, challenging in the sector, especially with the cocoa and all of that. I mean, what new measures are you putting in place to prevent, illicit activities within the sector?
So our policy, the policy that has been developed and has been, adjusted. The first thing we waiting, our board supposed to be meeting soon to approve the policy, and as soon as that is approved, we're going to have robust deployment of our inspectors at the various ports of entry, the various crossing points, to ensure that our cocoa, our coffee, and our oil palm produce are not just smuggled like it's being done. So that's one, and then two. What we are doing in the coffee sector, we're also going to replicate in all the other sectors, in the cocoa, in the oil palm. By next year also, we're going to increase our capacity. We're going to start doing nurseries. We're going to start, being more accessible to the farmers. Our technicians, we're going to start deploying them to help provide technical support, to the farmer, because that's our mandate. And not just about paying royalty to government to do LACRA. But if you are paying royalty, then of course we should play our part. We should provide the requisite technical support. So we're going to do that. We're going to get fully engaged with our technicians to help. Yeah.
Okay, so let me bring you back to the coffee Liberica you talked about. I saw you picked certain counties: Lofa, Nimba, Bong, Bombing, and Maserado. What are these counties, and are there plans for expansion since you want to do mass production?
So you got to start from somewhere. You have to start from somewhere. Mm-hmm. So right now we have 600,000 ceilings in collaboration with IITA. So we're starting from there with them. In fact, those counties, we are now covering the entire counties. We selected some districts, some real farming districts in those counties, 3 or 4 districts in some more than that, agricultural districts. So we started with them, and then probably what we did this year or this time around, we're going to do it differently next year.
Okay.
Because what we did this year was we centralized the nurseries. We centralized them in Bong, Lofa, and Nimba.
Okay.
So I was just telling my team yesterday, I said, but this is costly for us. What we're going to do next year, we're going to identify the farmers and what technicians will move in there and develop the nurseries with them on their farms. And then the technicians will work with them to transplant. Because currently we have them centralized. So to even transport them, I saw a huge budget from Deputy for Operations yesterday. Huge budget for us to, transport the seedlings from where they are now to the farms. And I think that would be too much for us. So next year we're going to do it differently. We're going to go into the communities and then develop the nurseries with the farmers through our technicians, and they can help them to plant. That would be far more effective than we're doing the district. So that's why we selected those counties. Next year we're going to go into other counties and even the other districts that are left in those counties, we're going to add them up next year. And so that within 3-5 years we can boast about our signature coffee Liberica. We can go to the world now and say, oh, Liberia is ready to supply the market with coffee Liberica.
Okay. Folks, if you're just joining us, you're listening to the OK Morning Rush here on OKFM 99.5. We understand this interview is being relayed on the Voice of Plebo in Maryland County. Thanks to the folks there at Voice of Plebo for relaying this interview, allowing our voices to reach that part of the country. That is very important. Let's come to this EUDR thing. I know couple of consultations have been going on, compliance deadline and all of that. Just provide firstly a little briefing of what this whole European Union deforestation regulation is. Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, the EUDR is the real challenge, to our farmers and our actors in the agricultural sector. It's a challenge, and I think the government is weighing the options, But the EUDR is like you said, is the European Union deforestation regulation. The Europeans or the world is concerned with deforestation, and as a matter of fact, Liberia has the largest portion of the Guinea forest. Currently, Liberia has about 43% of the Guinea forest in the entire region or in the entire Africa, I may say. So now the world is concerned. I will not just limit it to Europe. The world is concerned, as we cut down our forests and then make farms and that. In Europe or other places, there are no forests. Anyway, they've cut down everything, there are forests and all that kind of thing, so there are no forests. So they are concerned. Now they've tried over the years, you and I being here, they try to provide other projects, to people who live in the forest areas to divert their activities from somebody cutting down all the forest and all the other things. But that seemed to have not been working for them as it looks now. So now they sat and say, okay, so the people own their forest. We can't tell them, don't cut it. And they will say, oh, they're our forest. So what we're going to do is they will put in place a regulation, will say, if you cut down your forest, you plant cocoa, because there are 7 commodities that the EUDR is concerned with. You have cocoa, you have coffee, you have oil palm, you have rubber, you have timber, you have cattle, and then you have soybeans. Those 7 commodities, the EU says as of December 31st, 2019, that's a cutoff date. From December 31st, 2019, up to now, any farm, whether it is cocoa, whether it is coffee, whether it is rubber, whether it is oil palm, or whether it is timber, any commodity that is produced as a result of cutting down the forest as of December 31st, 2019, the produce from those activities will not enter the market. They will not buy it, they will not accept it on the market. So that is, if you cut down the forest as of January 1, 2020, from January 20 up to this point, any farm you are farming activities you are involved with, cutting down the forest and planting, they are saying the commodities from there will not enter their market. So they're not stopping you from cutting your forest. But if you cut your forest, anything of all of these 7 commodities you produce from there will not enter our market. That is their regulation. And then, so when we took over some of the first things we got, engaged with, the EU called us, and then they had a whole big program with all the actors in the ministry, in the government, and they rolled it out to us. And since then there have been a lot of misconception. But for us at LACRA, as the main regulator for most of these commodities that are concerned, so what we try to do is we try to partner with some of the organizations, the EFI, the UNIDO, and to try to provide some awareness. Because I've always said agriculture is driven by market. Because if you produce and then there's no market, of course you're not going to be encouraged. But if you planted cassava here and then you harvested and sold, I'm your neighbor, I did not plant, but you planted, you harvested and sold your cassava, I go you buy pickup, I'll be encouraged to get into it too. I will be encouraged to plant cassava, and you who planted will be encouraged to plant more, to even double up. But if there's no market, then of course you will be tired, and I would not even venture into it, I would not even want to. So I've always said agriculture is driven by market. So right now, 65% of our commodities, especially cocoa and coffee, is exported to the EU.
Okay.
And then 35% to the other areas. And so if EU is saying they will not accept that, then it becomes a challenge for us. Government will come up with different, alternatives, different measures. For instance, if we get involved with industry, with adding value, producing our own chocolate from our cocoa that we produce, and we're able to consume it on our market, we don't have to worry about whether somebody wants it or not. But if we are not able, then of course we get concerned, because our farmers need to get the market to sell their produce, their commodities, to get the requisite benefit. And so that's why we at LACRA, the EUDR is a concern to us. And that's why we are working with those institutions to provide more awareness for our people while engaging, our other partners in government. So that's it about the EUDR. And it's a regulation imposed on commodities produced as a result of deforestation as of December 31st, 2019. If you cut down the forest and you plant cocoa, you plant coffee, you plant oil palm, you plant rubber, or you cut timber, or you graze cattle or soybeans, the European market said they will not accept it from you. So you have to look for alternative market.
So what practical steps has LACRA already taken to ensure Liberian cocoa, coffee, palm oil exporters meet the EU's traceability and sustainability requirements?
So like I said, LACRA has been working with some other actors and some partners. We the first thing when we were we were engaged with this, we were confronted with this when we took over newly. So what we did, we invited other, actors in the government. We invited the Ministry of Agriculture, the Land Authority, the security sector, because everyone is involved. The security sector, the EPA, the LSJs, all of those people are involved. The Ministry of Internal Affairs. We invited them to a 2-day consultation, and we came up with a roadmap. And then the issue is funding. Let's just got a part to play. MIA got a part to play, which is now local government. But who provides the funding? So then we got started. And then EFI came in. We started to work with them. And then they themselves don't have the money. They say, they don't have the money to help us. Then UNIDO Grow 2 came in. So we can only provide some awareness and training for your farmers, but we don't have the money to do traceability, because one of the major components of the EUDR is traceability. When you say this cocoa, for example, was not produced as a result of deforestation, you got to show where the cocoa came from. Okay. And they are very serious on that. you have to show that this cocoa did not come from either Grand Jide, even though not all cocoa from Grand Jide is different, is produced as a result of deforestation, but you got to show the traceability. So they got this app that they will sit in their place and just log on the system and verify and be sure that indeed this cocoa did not come from a deforestation area. So to do that, LACRA, we decided to engage with the farm mapping and farm registration process. And to do that, we had to develop what we call the LACRA trace, which we use to do the geolocation of all the farms across the country. And then not only that, EFI help us to develop that. And then, so to roll it out, to do the entire geolocation of all the farmers across the country, my team presented a budget to me a few now, 3.6 million. So we don't have that money. So it is a real challenge. And I feel so bad because in January 2025, I was in the Southeast. I took a tour there. And I was telling the people, I said, 3 years from now, there'll be no poor man in Grand Jide. Because, the people are involved with cocoa farming. Everyone in Grand Jide is a cocoa farmer right now. And then with this new regulation, the EUDR, so it's a challenge, not only for LACRA, but for the country and for the government as a whole.
How are the local farmers reacting to this? I know there have been a couple of awareness and things. What kind of reaction do you get from them? Are they frustrated?
They're frustrated. It's challenging. You go to Grand Jide, some people have planted more than 200 hectares. Some people, I don't want to call names, some people have planted more than 500 to 1,000 hectares of cocoa. And you are telling them that the EU said they will not take your cocoa because you planted it as a result of deforestation. So that's why I say it needs national action, in which the government is working in that direction with the other sector ministries and agencies. But it needs national action. And then, I don't want to go beyond that, but it requires national action. Because other than that, I would tell anybody, few years from now, our people in the Southeast will be well-to-do because everyone there now is a cocoa farmer. People are heavily involved with cocoa farming. And then LACRA, we have to go there to tell them, this cocoa will not go on the EU market, and then we'll have to find different alternatives. That's why I said, a new holistic, approach by the government, which the government is working on. I don't want to say all the things on the radio. But I'm sure the Minister of Agriculture, that is the sector lead, is on top of that. And, like I talk about local government, because local government has to come in. The land issue, LRA has to come in, EPA, all those people. So it's a whole,
So in the midst of doing all of that, what will happen if she was say LACRA or the sector fails to meet with the compliance date, and then their goods doesn't get to enter the European market?
Marka, can we? Okay, so I don't want this discussion to be EUDR center because, like I said, we are working. All the sector ministry and agencies are working together on this because it's not only a LACRA issue. Okay. LACRA is a regulator though, but it affects the Ministry of Agriculture, it affects even commerce, all the other sector ministries and agencies. So the government is working on a holistic approach to this because the citizens are our farmers. The farmers are our citizens. Okay. And so if they got to survive, they must survive on what they invest in, which is the farms. So it's a whole other issue. So there are other alternatives. Like I said, one of the best things we could do is to industrialize, to bring in investors that will produce the chocolate here. But even if they produce it here, are we able to consume it? Because even if you produce the chocolate here, you can also export it to the European market because they want to know where the cocoa came from to produce the chocolate. So now, if we want to even ship to Asia, the Asians, if they are not able to consume all, they got to ship it to the European market because the Europeans are the biggest. The European Americans are the biggest consumer of chocolate.
So the bottom line is the farmers should brace themselves to comply.
Well, like I said, the government is working to a lot of alternatives. The government is working to providing a lot of alternatives. So we all got to brace ourselves. It's not only the farmers, you know.
Okay. So let's move away from that. Yeah, we have roughly about 18 minutes to go on this interview. So, what is the single biggest obstacle preventing Liberia from becoming a major agricultural commodities exporter again?
Oh my God! The biggest, you say what? The most single obstacle.
Yeah.
Export from becoming, in the first place. Read the reports. We have 66% of our land is agrarian. And then other 66%, the record show that we have only about 6% being utilized fully for agricultural purposes. So just look at that. If you are, because almost all of our land, everywhere you can plant. But if we are only utilizing about 6% or under 10% of that land for agricultural purposes, just imagine what is that? Then what can you export? So if you ask me about the challenge is that we have not been involved.
Okay.
We have not been fully involved with agriculture as compared to now. Right now, even myself got my farm now that is 2 years old, and so when everyone is involved with farming, we get involved in production. Then of course we'll be ready to ship more.
What can we do for Liberians to go back to the soil? What do you think there is anything we can do, maybe policy wise?
I was just reading this morning that there are about 376 equipment, agricultural equipment that is coming to Liberia. The government is bringing those equipment. I think those are the incentives. If you bring, because this how they call it, I would call this our method of farming, by hands or subsistence farming cannot help. But now you have a government that is the first in our arrest agenda. It starts with agriculture. The first A is agriculture. And so to boost that, government is bringing in equipment to help people who want to get involved with agriculture, to help our farmers. Because if you want to just do by hand, it can't help. It can't do anything. So government is now taking the right step. Read the National Agriculture Plan. So government is taking the right step. Bringing in those equipment is going to help boost our production level. Other than that, by hand, no, it'll just be hand to mouth. We can be at that competitive level. But with the equipment coming in, this is the first batch. I'm sure next year there will be more coming. And so we're going to get involved fully.
Okay. A final question, maybe you can other things left out. But if we invite you back here on the same program 1 year from today, what measurable results should Liberians expect to see from your leadership at LACRA?
Thank you. So like I said, in the beginning, our plan was to get LACRA autonomous.
Okay.
And that has not faded. It was only interrupted.
Okay.
It has not faded. We're going to work. We're going to work. I was telling my team this morning in the meeting. I said we got to take some austerity measures. We got to cut down some of the stuff, some of the intakes, some of the benefits, because we got to meet our target. And meeting our target to be autonomous, there are certain benchmarks that we have set for ourselves. And so 1 year from now, if we are not there, but we'll be almost there, and we'll be reporting that in the first place, that we got to be autonomous. With all due respect to the other bigger agencies, NPA, LPRC, and all the other people, they are generating revenue. LACRA is also generating revenue. So if we are generating revenue, we don't just generate revenue and eat all. We got to be thinking about, taking care of our own responsibilities, that is paying our staff. And then,
so is the Ministry of Agriculture that does that now?
No, our salaries are being paid by the central government.
Oh, okay.
Through MFDP,
okay.
Ministry of Finance. And I don't see why we should be waiting for that. And so 1 year from now, we are challenging ourselves right now. 1 year from now, we will almost be there if we will not be there. And then 1 year from now, we'll be telling you that at least we have been able to get more than 1.5 million coffee trees growing, coffee laberaga trees growing on our soil, because that's our signature, agricultural commodity. Remember, the Ministry of Agriculture adopted coffee laberaga as our major agricultural commodity, and so we stand by that. We fully support that. So 1 year from now, we'll be telling you that we have maybe 2 million coffee trees growing on our soils in Liberia. That's a target that we must meet. And then 1 year from now, of course, the big thing might happen. Our act might just be passed by the legislature, and then we'll be telling you, oh, all the other players we have, we are in full gear with them. We are doing rubber, we are doing not rubber, we are doing oil palm, and we are doing big time oil palm, big time, and we are doing big time rice production. We are doing big time coffee, cocoa, and you name it. So 1 year from now, our staff will be better off.
Okay.
When we met the staff. When we went, my first day going to Alagra, I met the staff. I thought they were bereaved. Oh yes, I thought they were bereaved. I'm serious about that. I with all due respect to them, But I met a highly demotivated workforce at Alagra. People probably did not even know what they were doing, and so we had to engage them. We had to make them to know that they are employees. They have to work. They have to love that. The first thing you come to work, no seat for you to sit in. How you gonna even be serious at work? So we had to engage them. We had to provide the requisite materials for them. I promised them that, and we provided. We provided the working tool. We provided the computers. We provided the chairs, and then we provided them the electricity. Of course, nobody going to sit in an office that is dark, no current, and you expect them to sit there whole day. So we started with that. 1 year from now, LACRA employees will be proud that they are employees of LACRA. That I'm making that promise. A year from now, our staff will be very proud that they are employees of LACRA.
What happened? They will get salary increment?
we will be, at the most, will be autonomous. And when you're autonomous, then you decide what to cook for yourself, right? You decide what you want to eat. Now somebody cooking, they say, hey, you just got to eat what they prepare. But when you are preparing for yourself, so that's a huge target. That's a huge commitment that we are making. But we're going to work towards attaining that. And the staff can rest assured.
What has been a relationship with the executive mansion since your return?
No, it's cordial. But the executive mansion brought me back, so I don't know. It's
maybe in terms of engagement, Yeah.
Yes, I came back in June, and then the first thing I had to sit and understand the entire office again. I made part of documents. I had to take my time to go through them and understand. Like the first thing, we had to get the financial report and all the other things to understand them, and then to have submitted some reports to the mansion. And then I will have to go there now with my own plans. And this is it, this is that. I will want to do it. After the 26th. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Christopher Sankolo here, the head of LACRA, is our guest. Let's take some calls. 0777 700 995, 0555 995 995. The numbers you can call to make your input, ask questions, make comment. 0777 700 995, 0555 995 995. We're talking about LACRA. We're talking about agricultural commodities. Let's take the first caller right here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name, where you join us from?
Good morning, Marka, and good morning to Lucky Shanko. Anyway, this is Rashton Moriba. I call from Jocosta.
Okay.
Chief, thank you. I just pray that what you say, all the good things that you're saying, that should come to pass. I pray along with you. Thank you so much. And that God bless us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. This one. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. This is Fred Goa.
Okay.
I'm calling from Euro Professional Owner. I want to thank your guest in studio for innovative and also the action plan that he has for the Liberian people. I really appreciate his effort. Thank you so much and continue the hard work.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka David.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Let me say good morning to your studio guest. My name is Mohammed Samanu Baro, a member of CNC.
Okay.
I want to take this time to appreciate him because I started with my radio listening to him. He explained a lot of good things about Lakra. We just hope and pray that political something will not interfere again because like while the first colors there, the luggage are cool because it is very difficult in this government that is being suspended and come back in that same position, but I think it's locked. But we want to appreciate him. But basically, it is a little bit confusing when the European Unions are telling you always not deforestate and make a farm. But in my mind, commercial farming, you have to deforestate. That is the only way that you can be able to make money. If it's about sustainable farming, you're able to cut 1 or 2 trees, then you do your farming. That is the reason why you see Liberia is very hard to take part in commercial farming because we don't have a desert area. We don't have a savanna land. We have a forest land. But it is very difficult. We just want to call on government, at least like what she was saying, to intervene in the process. And also, again, I want to call on the African leaders because this one is a complete screening to the Africans. Because if you look at places like Africa, places like Malay, they are into eco farming, but they don't have forests. Why they should demand others to cut down our forests and make a farm? Because if it's commercial farming, definitely you have to deforest it. That is the only way you can able to realize something good. So I just want to appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Let's go to this line. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Patrick Develop calling you from Jacksonville.
Go ahead.
I want to ask the coffee library call how many years it will take before it start producing.
You said?
The coffee library call how many years it will take before it start producing.
All right. That they will answer you. Just keep following. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
I'm James Tama. I call from Bannersville.
Okay.
I want to thank your studio guest. I want to say on the show that if we want mechanized farming, we need to make use of our agricultural students, our cultural graduates. We have people graduating from colleges. We are not utilizing their potential. We need to invest in our young people. That's the only way we can gravitate and start producing more agricultural products. You bring all of the yellow machines and you're not making use of the technicians, we will still be at the same place we are. So he has a brilliant idea. The government is doing well by bringing those machines, but let's tap in our young potential. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's come back to this line. Good morning.
Yeah, morning. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to welcome the LACRA director. Welcome back. But what happened is that the point with regards to the European Union, even Ivory Coast, Ghana, Nigeria, and Cameroon, they have issues with the European market because the European market now is becoming more difficult in accepting cocoa products from African countries. So what the 4 countries did is that they formed an association so that they can produce in their own country and do value addition. So what I will urge the director to do is that the meeting was held in Nigeria, I think, last month. So I will urge the director is that he should do a research on that so that at least we can do value addition in Liberia and make use of the African market rather than focus our attention on the European market. I'm a cocoa farmer, so it becomes difficult that once I start harvesting, who am I going to sell to? Will I get value for money? So I have to start, the LACRA has to start thinking on how we can do value addition. There are many products that can be made from cocoa. So we should not restrict our focus on just export. Export is not the result at this moment. What we can do locally, let's try to share idea how we can make use of the market and make use of other neighboring countries.
All right. Thank you. That's all we can do with the calls right now because of time. So we'll go back to the DG.
So thank you. Thanks to those that commended us. And one thing we needed to make clear with the EUDR thing is that we have agricultural land. So the EUDR knows that we have agricultural land in the country. So we have our forest. For instance, if your father farmed on this land before, your great grandfather farmed somewhere, whether you are taking 20 years or 30 years, you can cut down that bush and replant. That's an agricultural land. The forest they are talking about, real green forests that have been preserved by government, and there's a forest, and those are the kind of forests they're talking about in Bong, Lofa, Nimba. Most of our land there are agricultural land in Magibi, in Bomi, in all of those places. Most of our land are agricultural land. So whether your great grandfather farmed on this land before and the tree has grown, it's an agricultural land. So you can also carry on your farming activities there. So we need to provide that clarity. And somebody was talking about commercial farming. In other countries, when you go, the people don't have forests. What they do, in other countries, in fact, they create swamp. The people create swamp, and then most of the places the rice we're eating and come from, they are all desert land. But the people create swamp by themselves to do the mechanized farming, and then they produce more. For us, we are blessed. Everywhere you go, there's a swamp. Even right down here, when you walk down the road here, there's a swamp right there. So everywhere we go, there's a swamp.
And I always go to one big rice farm in Dubu Road there, Chap Rice Farm.
You see that? So we get swamp all over. We can utilize our swamp to produce our rice and all the other things. So we can do big time commercial farming. Like I said, we are only utilizing 6% of our agricultural land, and we can do big time commercial farming. Patrick wanted to know how long it takes for coffee Laborica to start production. Normally, coffee is 5 years, 5, 6 years, 4, 5, 6 years. So depending on the care, so it takes 5 years. And if you got one tree of coffee Laborica can produce estimated several thousand kg of coffee.
Okay.
Yes, one tree. Oh, it's huge. It grows very, very huge. And then agriculture students, yes, those are all national policy issues that the government is looking at, Ministry of Agriculture. As a matter of fact, at LACRA right now we got 3 interns.
Okay.
They are agricultural students from other universities. So right now we got them. So we're making use of them too. And so far, yeah. So thanks to all the other people that provided commendation. Somebody talk about value addition. We talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
The government is thinking in that direction, because if somebody say, I don't want you to my house, what you got to do, you make your own house better, right?
Okay.
If you go into somebody's house to watch TV, or your children go in there and say, your children should not come, buy TV for your house. Then your children will say that, so we got to,
exactly.
we got to add more value.
Cordial working environment, what can you say in 30 seconds as we go?
At LACRA?
Yes.
No, we are good. We are good. When I went back, the first thing I had a meeting with all the staff. I told them, in as much as I was able to come back, that God made me to come back, God forgave me. I have also forgiven everybody. I don't want to be the guy in the Bible that was owing the king $10,000. The king said, pay my money. Yeah, I'll beg you. I don't have the king. Then he went, hey, brother, if somebody else was owing him $5, he grabbed the man and put him in jail. So I told them, in as much as God has forgiven me, has forgiven everybody, and we can work together and we make LACRA better. Like I said, if we hold together like that again, everybody will want to work for LACRA.
Okay, Chief, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Marka. I appreciate it.
Okay, Christopher Sankolo is the Director General of the Liberia Agricultural Commodity Regulatory Authority, LACRA. He's been our guest on this July 26th weekend presentation of the OK Morning Rush. So this is how we go for the weekend break. My name is Marka Davis, Blessing Nimle, and Abraham Cannon. We've been here with you. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.